On this Wellness Wednesday, we're helping you understand situationships. We know how confusing these types of relationships can certainly be, and a lot of the times it's hard to know how to handle it or how it's really making us feel deep down. So Juliana Lyddon from Connect with Juliana is here to break it down for us. So first and foremost, what is a situationship?
I know,
cute as it is, right?
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
Darling word.
The name is trending now,
Sure.
but it's been going on for a long time. This is basically where you're in a relationship that doesn't have those legs, that long-term commitment. And a lot of people stay in it for a variety of reasons. Sometimes they might find financial security. Maybe other times they're just lonely. And it's
Emotional security.
Yeah, emotional security. Maybe it's better than nothing.
Sure.
You know, but it doesn't have that longevity.
Okay, and ultimately probably not a win-win. So
Right.
how do we kind of identify if we're living in denial with said situationship?
You know, here's the thing. It is so volatile, okay? And what happens is you sometimes believe, you convince yourself, because you get these breadcrumbs, that, oh, maybe, you know, he or she is really telling me that it is going to work out. So when you get the breadcrumbs, when you get that little high, you're back in that place of going, see, it's going to be okay. We're going to make it.
So how do you kind of bust out of that mentality of like, I'm stuck, I have nowhere to go, this is my only option? Because I feel like there's people in my circle who've felt that way in the past, and that's not a good spot to be.
And you know what? The longer you're in it, the harder it is to get out. The harder it is to stand in your power. So you're right. And you know, one of the things I tell my clients is, if you've got friends or family that you trust,
Sure.
that you really listen to, and they're all saying the same kind of thing, that, hey, this isn't really going to be the greatest thing for you, pay attention to it, because we do have to start to jumpstart and get ourselves into that power place where we make that decision.
Okay, and obviously we know these people are probably experiencing kind of an emotional roller coaster, investing in someone that really isn't kind of involved, and so that's creating kind of blips. So if you're not getting the breadcrumbs, but you're actually getting the short end of the stick in that situation, how does that play a role?
Yeah, so what happens is, like you said, it's this roller coaster or merry-go-round, because you're having emotions that are going up, that are going down. You get in this cycle, you get in this pattern, and you get used to it. It's the familiar dysfunction. And as you're living in it, boy, it's hard. It's almost like somebody has to go in and I'm going to get you
pluck
out.
you out of it. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting in some of the notes that you shared. This is one of the circumstances where an ultimatum would be okay, not necessarily when you're, you know, hoping to get that diamond, but this is one of those situations where you're like, look, this is not working for me 100% of the time.
And you know, that's the thing I also encourage people to do, is you've got to communicate about it. You've got to talk about it, but often they're scared, because if I bring it up, maybe I'm going to find out it's not what I want. But at some point, you're going to hit that wall, and you're going to realize, hey, look, I got to make a call here. And that's where the ultimatum comes in.
And is there a small step before we wrap that people can take if they think, am I in that? Am I just staying in my current circumstance because it's comfortable? Like, what's the little baby step they can take?
Well, first off, I'm going to tell you, you know deep down.
You already know.
You already know.
You already know.
So the best thing to do is to start the conversation and say, hey, I'm feeling that this isn't really going to be that long-term thing I want so badly. Can we have that conversation and get there?
And one thing we talked about before, if they shut you down,
that's right.
That's your red flag.
There you
We've
go.
talked about red flags and green ones. Juliana, I love it. Thank you. Situationships. Don't just get on the wagon because it's trending. Right after the break. Okay, it's Way Back Wednesday.